first Devi we saw was Shailaputri, the daughter of the mountain. So we said that was collection of attention. We want to go on a long journey, and to go on the long journey we need money. Spiritual money is attention. Our attention is stuck in different places. It is stuck in the physical, in our possessions. We are not free, our attention is not free from the possessions. If something happens to our bank balance or to our possessions, we feel pain inside. That means our attention is stuck over there. Our attention is stuck in the world of relationships, in our friends, in our relatives, in our family. Anything happens there, we feel pain inside. This is the characteristic. Apno jeev kya bade che. Jya jeev bade, apno attention choke. And third is in the world of thought. So the first daughter was the daughter of the mountain, the first Devi. Collection of attention, collection so much that it becomes a mountain. The second Devi, Brahmacharini, connecting to the higher. Now once the attention has, been accumulated, we have enough of attention like the mountain, we connect that mountain to the higher. We try to see the higher in every event of life. We make an effort to see the higher. In normal life, we may translate the event as something that has insulted us, something which has not treated us well. But in every event, we make an effort to see the higher. The second Devi, Brahmacharini. The third Devi, Chandraghanta, concentration. Once the attention is in the higher, now we concentrate it. We increase our presence. We hold our presence. So we went through these three Devis. The fourth Devi is Kushmunda, the creation of Sankalp Shakti. Kush means little. Ushma means heat. Anda means an egg. But in this case, it is the egg which has taken the form of a seed. Andasya bijasya. Now the next Devi after Kushmunda is Skandhmata. So we are now going to go a little in front and come back. What is will? What is will? Is will willpower? Or is will spiritual will? Many people have willpower, but they have zero spiritual will. Willpower is changing the circumstances. Willpower is fulfilling our ambitions, fulfilling our desires. Spiritual will is to be happy in the present moment. Spiritual will is trying to see what nature has cooked up for us, what nature has desired for us. I have my personal will, I have my own personal desire, but maybe nature wants to tell me something else. And can I keep my personal desire on the side and feel what nature is telling me? Spiritual will. In this moment, everything is exactly the way it should be. Spiritual will. Sankalp Shakti. Ram Dulare Bapu used to say, मैं आत्मा बल के पक्ष में हूं, मनोबल के पक्ष में नहीं. Atma bal. In life, people with ambition, they have willpower. They earn money, they create businesses, they own factories, they command so many other people, they have power. This is willpower. Spiritual will is the art of being at peace with ourselves every moment in our life, whatever the outer condition. So Kushmunda, she is the creation of spiritual will, and she is going to put that will into something. Then comes Skandhmata. There was a demon called Tarkasur. And Tarkasur had all the cunningness of life. In spirituality, there is no cunningness, there is intelligence. In life, there is cunningness. And he was a great devotee. Even though he was a demon, he was a great devotee of Brahma. And he prayed to Brahma. And Brahma asked him, what do you want? And he said, I want Amrit. I want to live forever. So Brahma said, that is not possible. Ask for something else. Immortality only belongs to the Devas. The Devas, the one who have achieved a state of consciousness. The one who has become a witness to the world. The witness does not die. So Brahma says, I can't give you immortality, you ask for something else. So he is very cunning. He says how to get immortality in a different way. So he knows that Sati has died. Shiva's wife has died. And he knows that Shiva is in the pain, the vira that his wife has died. So he lives in the cremation grounds, in the smashan, covered with ashes. He doesn't come out of the cremation ground. So he says, okay, you give me the boon that I can only die by the son of Shiva. Now this is the cunningness we use in life. This is the cunningness of self-love. Yesterday I made a mistake. I said that the Lord of what you call Swati Nakshatra was Guru. Actually it was Rahu. Rahu depicts this cunningness. Rahu is the demon who only has a head. He does not have a body. So it's a dark head. Knows all the devious ways of the underworld. Our underworld dawn, his Rahu must be very powerful. An income tax lawyer who cheats on income tax, his Rahu must be very powerful. A politician who knows all the devious ways of politics, his Rahu somewhere must be very powerful. So, Tarkasur, he said that you give me the boon that I can only be killed by the son of Shiva. Cunningness. And of course Brahma said, okay, you got it. and he thought he'd become invincible. And he started tormenting the three worlds. And this is the pattern within all of us. Somewhere deep down, if we could accumulate all the wealth in the world, we would say we want it. The Bhulok, the physical world. He started tormenting the physical world, possessing everything. And once he had possessed everything in the physical world, the cellular world, he went to the world of relationships. We love to control people. We love to have power. We love it when people's attention falls upon us. We love it when our name is in the newspapers. We love it when we get a prize and people clap. We love it when we go to a meeting and people talk about us. We want to control everybody. The politician wants to control everybody. The guru wants to control everybody. He's not the guru, he's Tarkasur. So he took possession of the physical world, he took possession of the astral world, the world of relationships. He controlled everything. And then he went into the electronic world, Swaha. But that is the world of knowledge. The world of knowing. And the knowledge cannot be controlled. It can only go to the worthy. Knowing can only happen to the worthy. No demon can control knowledge. And he wanted to control Swahalok. And he was creating havoc everywhere. So the gods, they went to Brahma and said, what is this? You've given him this boon. And of course, Shiva is in the smashan, he's not interested in anything. So Brahma said, I've already made a design, I've already decided, something will work out. So, first Brahma, of course, sent Kamdev to wake up Shiva from the smashan, from the cremation ground, but the god of love failed. Shiva opened his eye and he burned to ashes. Now what to do? What to do? How to stop this? And this is the pattern in all of us. We want to control everything. We want to possess everything. We want to fulfill all our desires. In Mooladhar, greed, possess everything. In Swadhisthana, Kam, all fulfillment of desires. In Manipur, growth, control everyone. These are our basic desires within everyone. And this pattern has to die. And this pattern can only die through the creation of a certain kind of will. And this is the fourth day of Navratri. Now when we talked about death a few years ago, we talked about the concept of reverse time. That at the moment of death, we see our life once again in reverse time. It goes back. The old man goes back and he sees himself becoming a young child and we die. The concept of reverse time. Now try to keep this in mind because what we talk about. Now what is sex energy? What is sex energy composed of? Let us divide it into three parts. The lowest part we will call as Shukra.
Let me Rajen Vakil.
So we have the physical aspect of sex energy called Shukra. Semen. We have the psychological aspect called Virya. This is will, spiritual will. And we have the spiritual aspect called ojas. So we have 3 levels of sex energy: Shukra, Virya, Ojas. 3 aspects. Now, science only understands the physical aspect. Now, when a husband and wife meet, if the meeting is through excitement, then there is Shukra, but there is no Virya. It is just for the fulfillment of desire. But supposing we are planning to have a child and we decide 1 year in advance that from today sex will only be for the child, and we go through a sort of ceremony of worship where we enter into sex without excitement, then now what is going through is not just the physical part, something of the psychological is created. This is will, this is spiritual will, not willpower. Now that meeting of the male and female, who are only meeting to have children, the quality of what is going through them is totally different than when it is done for excitement. That is why we say that if you want to have a child, 3 to 6 months of brahmacharya. Right? The psychological component in the sex cell changes. It is created. This is will. That will is transmitted to the child. If the couple, they decide in advance what qualities do we want to transfer to the child, what do we want to give the child as a gift, then through inner use of will, they can slowly visualize those qualities over a period of 1 year, and in the act of the act of consummation, in trying to have a child, something can be transferred which is not just the physical, something much more. In the Mahabharata, there is the story of the birth of the 5 Pandavas. Yudhishthir, the eldest Pandava, was born. Bhim, the second Pandava, was born. And then it was time for Arjun to be born. And the father, Pandu, he had to go into deep meditation for 1 year to give birth to Arjun. So, something more was transferred. Now we are going to come to this over here. So this is just the background with which we are entering into this story of Tarkasur. The Devi's name is Skandhmata, the mother of Skandha. When a child is born, first the mother and father meet. The mother then what you call, nurses the child, nourishes the child for 9 months in her womb, and then the child is born. Here the opposite is going to happen. Here the Mata called Kushmunda, try to understand the meaning again. Kush, little, Ushma, heat, to the egg, under, but the egg in the form of a seed. The period of incubation, the period of holding the, the child in the womb of the mother, the period of incubation. Little heat, not too much heat. Little heat. Little heat. Kushmunda. So, the child is first held in the womb, and then there is a meeting of male and female, and the child is born. The period in the womb, it's like reverse time. First in the womb and then the birth. Here first the meeting in life and then holding in the womb. Here first holding in the womb and then the meeting of the male and females. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? It's very fascinating. This story is so fascinating. So she creates the womb first. Now, when Shiva marries Parvati, he marries her as the Devi Brahmachari. So there cannot be a child through consummation. There has to be a child in a different way. So the story goes that she creates this womb within her. What does she create? Not Shukra, she creates Virya, the will. The will. She creates the will. In her womb, she nurses it by giving it a little heat all the time. By remembering it all the time. By holding on to it in a certain way all the time. And then Shiva and Parvati as Kushmunda, the Devi, they don't meet physically. But there is a meeting. And the egg is seed-like, andasya bijasya. The egg is seed-like, the womb is seed-like. In the Mahabharata, Gandhari, Dhritarashtra's wife, she learns that Kunti is pregnant and she feels jealous. So she worships Vyasji. And Vyasji comes and he has 101 pots. And these, he says, don't touch anything, you will give birth to 101 children. But Kunti gives birth to Yudhishthira. And now Gandhari is very upset. She wanted her son to be the firstborn. And she breaks open these pots. And Duryodhana is born. She didn't wait for the incubation period. And instead of Devi Shakti being born, Asuri Shakti was born. Instead of divine energy being born, demonic energy was born. She broke before the spiritual will could enter into the womb, into those 100 wombs. But here the spiritual will was created. And it was put in a seed. Even though it was a womb, it was put in a seed. And Shiva's semen it fell down. That is why the word Skalan, Skandha, Kartikeya, born out of the falling of Shiva's semen. But this is no ordinary falling. This is no ordinary falling. Not like what man has in his dreams or something. This is a different kind of falling. That is why he's called Skanda. Skalan thayu, it fell, and dharan thayu. There was dharana. It wasn't just any dharana hati. He created that, what you call, divine will that it should fall down. And in that was the seed which Kushmunda had sown, which she had nursed in her womb maybe for 1,000 years, we don't know. So, I hope I'm coming across it. It's a very difficult story. Very difficult story. The semen fell. At that time, Brahma had arranged for a yagna, a sacrificial yagna. And all the 7 rishis, the Sapta Rishi, the great bear, all the 7 rishis were taking part in the yagna. And Agni was conducting the yagna. And the semen fell, and it fell into Agni. Agni means the fire, the Lord of fire, the God of fire. And as he was conducting the yagna, he suddenly felt excitement. The powerful semen of Shiva fell into it. He felt excitement. And he's conducting the yagna, and he sees the wives of the 7 rishis, and he's attracted to the 7 wives. But in the yagna, swaha is also there, because whenever you want to give something to the yagna, you say, swaha, I give it. I give it to the yagna. I give it to the fire. So she was also sitting there. And during the sacrificial yagna, she fell in love with Agni. So she saw that Agni is looking at the 7 wives of the 7 rishis. And she took the form of one wife, one at a time. And she met Agni. And Agni poured into Swaha the semen of Shiva. So she went through 6 of the rishis' wives. But when she went to take the form of Arundhati, the wife of Vashishta, she couldn't do it. Arundhati's inner will was so powerful, spiritual will, she couldn't break her aura and take her form. So in these 6, the semen of Shiv was divided. And then she suddenly felt the rishis have so much power. They will know what has happened. I better run away from here. So she took the form of an eagle, Garud, taking the semen in her beak, and she flew to the top of a mountain. And there was a golden pot which was guarded by 7 snakes. Right? And she put the semen in that pot, and Kartikeya was born. That is why he's called Skanda. He came from the semen of Shiva, which had fallen, just Skalan, born out of that. He was born in that pot. Of course, it's a long story. I can't go into what Kartikeya did. But that mountain top was the home of the 6 Krutikas. The constellation called Pleiades. The Krutika Nakshatra. And the six Krutikas, they took this baby in and they fed him, breastfed him, and they were the mothers. That is why the son of the Krutikas is called Kartikeya. As the son of Shiva, he is Skanda. As the son of the Krutikas, he is called Kartikeya. And then he is able to take up weapons against Tarkasur, and he is able to kill the demon called Tarkasur. Whenever a mother and father, they decide to have a child, but the mother says, not for 1 year. 1 year I want to bring dharana shakti into my womb. I want to visualize the qualities I want in that child. I want to ask for those qualities. And every day she practices putting those qualities. One of the ways which my guru taught me to materialize thought. Don't use it wrongly. We are now going to move into the Anahat Chakra with these two Devis. The Anahat Chakra is composed of two parts, the right part and the left part. The left part is negative, the right part is positive. But the right part, even though being positive, is not in rhythm and balance. So we practice the first exercise for a long time to bring the right part into rhythm and balance. Now, the left part is negative, means it is moving anti-clockwise. The right part is moving clockwise. And we close our eyes and we visualize the left part and start rotating it clockwise. This is a very advanced practice. The Guru first teaches the rotation of Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, then Manipur, Kundli, then we go to Anahat. But I'm just giving this to you. This is a very, very advanced practice. So we sense that left part. It is moving anti-clockwise. We start turning it clockwise. We can visualize it as an 8-anna coin, like this, with 12 spokes, and we are putting light in one spoke as like an iron rod and turning it clockwise. At the same time, if whatever thought we are holding in our mind, of course we must have the dharana shakti to hold that thought. Over a period of time, that thought has to materialize in our life. Please don't hold a lottery ticket or something. Be very sure of what we want in life. We want only one thing, to rise in consciousness, be free of negativity. These are our two aims. Nothing else is our aim in life. But this is a very, very powerful technique. And you can use it. Right? So, if the mother becomes a mother 1 year before the birth of the child, the mother and father, they can consciously decide what qualities they want in the child. This is the technique of Kushmunda, the fourth Devi. She is holding a kadas of Sura, wine. She is on a lion. She has a cleaver in her hand. She is holding a mala. She is the mother of creation. The wine says she is intoxicated by Shiva. Shiva, the divine principle, the divinity. We are intoxicated by our ego. We are intoxicated by our power. We are intoxicated by how many people know us. We are intoxicated by how much money we have. And we move into spirituality to be free of intoxication and go into the divine intoxication, but we make spirituality a new form of intoxication. I have read so many scriptures. I have done so many fasts. I have done so many japas. And we don't realize that the I can't do japa. The I can't do fasting. We don't realize that. And we make it a new form of intoxication. This intoxication is called mother. And it is in all the chakras. In Muladhara, it is the mother of possession. In Swadhisthana, it is the mother of fulfillment of all desires. I have everything in life. In Manipura, it is the mother of controlling so many people, mother of power. In Anahata, it is the mud, the intoxication of the dream. And in Vishuddhi, it is the intoxication that I am better than everyone else. It is this pattern which takes so much will to be. The will has to be born in a womb, the womb of Kushmunda, to break this pattern called Tarkasur. So she's coming on a lion. See her Vahini. Now see these words. We use the mantra Soham, Siham. Hansi, Hansa. The lion is depicting the basic rhythm of life. The followers of Shakti, not the followers of Shiva, they don't say, I am that Soham, but I am its Shakti. I am its Shakti. I am its energy. I am not that, I am its energy. Siham, I am its energy. They go a little one step lower. Now, both these Devis are on lions. Kushmunda and the next one, Skandhmata. But one is called Siha Vahini, one is called Siha Gata. Gata means to move. Here it is a static form of energy. A static form of energy. She is collecting energy in the womb to make that seed which she puts in Shiva's semen. The semen is a seed. The and is the womb of the mother. The egg is the womb of the mother, the ovum. But she wants to put the ovum into the semen. In normal process, the semen goes into the ovum. Can you see everything is in reverse over here? I mean, these stories are so, it's unimaginable the amount of mystery these stories contain when we go deep into these stories. So she's creating the ovum as if it is a seed. And she puts that seed into the semen of Shiva. So her lion is a static lion. The power of holding on. Titiksha Shakti. Pratiksha Shakti. Somebody asked Ram Dulare Bapu, what is Adhyatma? Adhyatma એટલે શું? એને કીધું તિતિક્ષા અને પ્રતીક્ષા. Yet this art of giving answers in a couple of words only. Waiting and holding. To be able to hold. We can't hold. Somebody hurts us, we can't hold. We have to react. We see something nice, we can't hold. We have to buy it. Especially children today. Especially children. To observe it, I go shopping with my daughter. It has to happen now only. There's no gap. There's no gap. It has to happen now. No waiting. No waiting. But here she waited. She created that will in her womb. She transported that will into Shiva, and that will killed the demon Tarkasur, the pattern within us that we want to own everything. We want to experience everything. We want everyone to look at us. Our self-love, the basic pattern of the ego, it killed that pattern. Waiting, pratiksha shakti, to wait, patience. We cannot have to wait. It must be done with the bliss of drinking wine. So she's holding a kalash of wine in her. She's waiting, but she's waiting in bliss. There's the bliss of waiting. The tiger has a mane. The lion has a mane. And the mane is its power. Solar energy collects in that mane. So she's collecting energy. She's become a capacitor. The lion is a symbol of courage to overcome obstacles. It is the king of the jungle. It rules over all the lower emotions. Once we are riding on the lion, we've controlled all our passions in life. All the lower psychic nature is in our control. It is the transformation of vanity and pride. Try to separate in our observation what is pride and what is vanity. I have a new set of clothes. But I'm feeling a little, I'm not feeling right to wear them. I feel, what will my friends say? That is pride. But I love to wear new clothes and I show it off to my friends. That is vanity. So pride and vanity. You can study it in young children. A young child has come first in class. And the parents are telling him, they held a whole party and they're telling everyone how he has come first in class. And sometimes you feel the child doesn't like it. That is pride. But if the child is expanding and his ego is expanding, vanity. Vanity always loves an audience. Without an audience, there's no vanity. What others say about me. Vanity always tries to defend its weaknesses. My guru used to say, never defend yourself for anything. Truth needs no defense. But we like to I came late because there was traffic. I defend myself. And of course, every husband has to learn to defend himself. Defend ourselves. But truth does not need any defense. So, the transformation of pride and the killing of vanity is symbolized by the lion. So we move from the collection of Shailaputri, the mountain. We connected to the higher Brahmacharini. We concentrated everything in Chandraghanta. And now Kushmunda, giving rise to creation. She has the egg in her womb. What is creation? What is creation? What are the laws behind creation? Everything in life follows certain laws. And it is these laws which become a blueprint in her womb. It's not my subject to talk about those laws. It took me South Africa 5 weeks to explain those laws in one temple. I think one of these days for a friend, I'm going to talk about them very fast in one day. So if anyone is interested, please give your name to Vijay. So it will be very fast. You will not be allowed to ask questions. So what I said in 1 month over there, I'll try to put in a couple of hours. What are the laws of creation? How do we understand those laws? Truth happens in many stages. As long as there's negativity in the emotional center, certain qualities of the emotional center do not awaken. As long as there's attachment in the emotional center, certain qualities do not awaken. Normally we feel the emotional center is to love somebody, be friendly with somebody. This is our normal interpretation of our emotional energy. We don't realize that there is a hidden quality in emotional energy. And that is to see. Not to see with the eyes, to see with the emotions. This is a different kind of seeing. It is a kind of knowing. The mother knows, even after the child has become 30 years old or 40 years old or 50 years old, and if the mother is still living, she's 1,000 miles away, she knows that her child is in trouble. She knows through the emotional center. This is emotional knowing. This is the hidden function of the emotional center. It has to be awakened consciously. Many people call it clairvoyance. It is not clairvoyance. It's a very dirty word, clairvoyance. Once this is awakened, then there is a perception of truth. As the emotional center awakens even more, is what you call free of the impurities, something else awakens in the emotional center. The perception of truth, the feeling of truth. The feeling of truth. Truth brings its own emotion. Truth brings a different kind of feeling inside. And then comes the awakening in the intellectual center, the knowing of truth. The knowing of truth is knowing the laws of life, the way truth works. What are the laws of life? And these laws are a seed in the womb of Kushmunda. She has 8 hands, Ashtabhuja. We saw one, the kalash, full of wine, divine wine, always in bliss. And again she has a kamandal. Now this is something. The kamandal we saw in brahmachari, freshness. Always in the present moment. Only that much water which we can drink. We don't store the water. But now she's storing the wine. She has transformed the water into wine. She has transformed the water into wine. She's storing the wine. She has to now store for a long period of time a lot of energy to transform that ovum into sperm. It is a transformation which she is doing. It is a period of incubation, and she keeps on doing it by giving little heat, little heat, little heat. The lion is the symbol of that transformation. The story goes that one person went on a hunting for a lion, and he killed the lion. It was a lioness, and she had a small cub. And a group of goats were going, and the shepherds were taking the goats to eat the grass, and the lion joined the goats, the little lion joined the goats. And it started growing up as a goat. And everywhere it would follow the goats would go meh, and it would also go meh. Right? And this is the story of our life. Somebody hurts us, meh. Right? Some obstacle comes in life, meh. This is the story of our life. Daughter-in-law doesn't listen to us, meh. Mother-in-law does this, meh. Life has to go the way we want it to go. And life has no guarantee to go the way we want it to go. It has its own ways. And sometimes its ways can be very cruel. Sometimes its ways can be very difficult. We keep on going, meh. This is the meaning of Ravan. Rudayati, the one who is crying all the time. This is the story of our life. And one day, a lion went out hunting and he saw this group of goats. Are you seeing this lion in the group? He's shocked. And the lion is eating grass like a goat. The lion is clanging together like the goat. He's wondering. He's never seen anything like this in his life. And he goes and picks up the lion. And the lion starts screaming, meh, meh. Like all the goats start screaming. And then he takes him to a pool of water and shows him that you're a lion. You're not a goat. And he sees he's a lion, and then he roars. And in that roar, the crying dies. This is the roar which we have to create. We are lions. But we live like goats. The story of our life. So, Kushmunda, she's on a lion. She has a chakra, the Sudharshan chakra. Chakra is that which kills negativity. When we divide our attention into two parts, we are observing our lower psychic nature. Observation is called darshan. Right observation is called Sudarshan. And we start killing the lower psychic nature. The first thing we kill is somebody called Sishupal. Sishu means a child. And Sishupal means to look after the child. The childishness. Right? When I'm a child, I'll say, I won't give my toy to you to play. It is my toy. And then somebody grows up and becomes a member of parliament. I won't give my seat to you. It's the same thing. The child, Sishupal hasn't died. So when we start observing our lower psychic nature, the first person we kill is Sishupal. Chakra. She has a chakra to kill the lower. She has a mace, Gada. I explained mace the other day, Gada, but yesterday I was going through the parking lot and one lady was not satisfied with that. So I don't think she's come today. Gada was the name of a demon, an asura. And he was creating havoc wherever he went, destroying wherever he went. And the gods went to Vishnu, you please do something about it. Now Gada had another quality. He was very generous. If anybody came to ask for anything, he would give it. So Vishnu went to him and he said, give me your bones. So he killed himself and gave the bones to Vishnu. From that he made a weapon. The weapon is like a churning rod when we make buttermilk. Of course now the buttermilk is made in the mixer, but in the old days it was like a churning rod. The buttermilk. The Gada churns our energy. It is the movements of the Gada are the movements of churning of energy. It is Bhim's weapon. Bhim is representing the sex center within us. We are not allowing the sex energy to be static. We are churning it. Because if something gets static, it decays. It falls down. It loses its vibrative quality. I remember some years ago, a very, very famous Jain monk was very ill. Somebody who was close to me knew him very well, so he said, will you come and visit him? So I went to visit him. They have a huge ashram near between Ahmedabad and Gandhinagar. And he was not interested in anything. He was fixed in his ideas. There was nothing one could do about it. But when I was trying to talk to him about death, how to work for death, the person who was sitting next to him, who must have been his chief disciple or something, he left the room and he went down. I saw him leaving the room. I was not sure what was happening. So I finished my talk with this very, very famous guru. Came out, went down, and I saw that everybody had gathered in one hall and this chief disciple was over there, and he made me sit on a chair. And he said, we all get so many thoughts of sex. Tell us something how to be free of the thoughts of sex. So I said, it is the Guru's duty. If he has made you a brahmachari, if he has given you these white clothes, it is his duty to teach you what to do with this energy, not mine. Now, the rotations of the Gada, don't think they are for fighting somebody else. When we do those rotations, we are churning the sex energy. We are separating excitement from the sex energy. The Gada is a symbol of churning the sex energy. And when the sex energy is free of excitement, you are free of sexual thought automatically. You don't have to do anything about it. This is all the movements in the Gada are movements for rotating that energy. I'm sorry that lady is not here. I mean, she was right. I didn't talk about it. So those movements are very important. So in one hand, she's holding the Gada, free of excitement. And a person who is free of excitement is free of the dream of life. He's free of the hypnosis of... Now that he does not respond to external stimuli like all animals do. It's not automatic in him. Something else is now within him. Can we be free of excitement? So she's holding a Gada, the mace, the mala. We did the mala the other day. The sword, we did the sword. And she's holding a jar of blood. Holding a jar of blood. Why does she want blood? What is she? It is her own blood which she has put into that jar. Nowadays we have telephones, the mobile phone, and we can communicate with anyone and everyone. In the old days there was no mobile phone. If you and I met, and if we were living a couple of 1,000 miles apart, maybe we would never meet again in this life. So how do we keep in connection? What is the way of keeping in connection? So there was a system called blood brothers, where they would take a cup, both would cut themselves, put the blood into the cup, mix the blood, and both would drink from the cup. This was the system of blood brothers. Now wherever that person is, we are in communication. Don't do it. Don't do it. We are in communication. Christ was dying. So the Christian said, he said, here, eat my flesh, here, drink my blood. They thought it was bread and wine. It's not bread and wine, it was real flesh and real blood. He gave real blood to his disciples, that when I am not there, we'll be in constant touch. It's the way of communicating. So she takes her blood, and the egg in the womb is nursed in her blood. Wherever the child is born, she will always be in constant communication. She is the mother. She is the movement into the Anahat Chakra, Kushmunda. Kushmanda, sorry, one more weapon, the cleaver, I forgot. The hook. The cleaver. The hook is to hold our being. My guru used to say, it doesn't matter where you have gone, how much you have walked. You have to hook yourself and put another hand out, and somebody who is one step below you, you have to pull him to where you are. Otherwise you will lose everything you've got. You may not have yet reached the ultimate goal. You may have walked up a couple of steps only, but it is your duty to someone who is in a lower step to pull him up to where you are. She's saying, I'm ready to help the whole of humanity. The movement in the Anahat Chakra. Anahat Chakra is moha. It is the representative in the Mahabharata is Shakuni. He throws the dice and we get hypnotized. And again he throws the dice and we get hypnotized. And the dice happens from morning to evening. We get a phone from school, your son has fallen down, hypnotized. Right? And then another phone call comes, this has happened, hypnotized. And we come home, there's no lunch or no dinner, hypnotized, anger. Every moment we are hypnotized by the events of life. And how are we hypnotized? Remember Ramdulare Bapu used to say, take a chair, sit near the screen, don't watch the movie, watch the people looking at the movie. And this is everybody's story. They come into life, looking at the events, they die. That's the story. Hypnotized. It's the story of our life. Right? So, when we bring that negative part of the Anahat Chakra, when we make it positive, we turn it clockwise, we are freeing ourselves from moha, the hypnosis of life. Yayate vishayan punsa, sangaste shupajayate, sanghata sajayate kama, kamat krodho vijayate, krodhat bhavati sammoha. Krishna is telling Arjuna. First is the hypnosis, sangha. The attention is seduced. You see something beautiful in the store, the attention is seduced, sangha. Somebody says something upsetting, attention is seduced, sangha. Every moment in our life. What is it seduced by? Vishaya. Dhyayate Vishaya. Sanghaste Shupajayate. Sanghat Sajayate Kama. And once it is seduced, the desire comes in. I want this. The desire comes in. So, she's saying, she's entered the Anahat Chakra, we are free from the hypnosis of life. On this day of Navratri, the Nakshatra is the Vishakha Nakshatra. It is ruled by Jupiter. I talked about Jupiter yesterday. Vishakha means the branched. The branched one. Another name for this Nakshatra is Radha. The English name is very difficult, Alpha, Beta, Librae, right? It's a part of the Libra. And when you drink that divine wine, things go upside down. The world is upside down. Radha becomes Dhara. She starts flowing opposite. And that is the quality of Vishakha Nakshatra. We enjoy the branches of life, all the branches of life. So this is Kushmunda. We worship her on the 4th day. On the 5th day we worship Skandhmata. We saw how Tarkasur was trying to take over Swahalok, but you can't take over. You can't own all the knowing in the world. You can't own all the consciousness in the world. We saw he is the pattern that will never forgive. How do we forgive someone? What is the conscious act of forgiving someone? What is the conscious act of forgiving someone? Do we say, I accept, or I forgive you? Do we say that?
If we say that, it's ego.
So what do we do? What is the method? Remember Atma Smaran, self-remembering. That is the only way to forgive.
Put the other person in put yourself in his shoe.
Yeah, how?
Cancel it out.
Huh?
Cancel.
Yeah, but how does it cancel? Supposing somebody has treated me badly, how do I forgive him? I remember when I treated somebody else badly. Right? My consciousness expands. Then he is not different. He is a part of me, a part of my consciousness. I am not forgiving somebody else. I am forgiving myself. I cannot forgive somebody else. I can only cancel the account. And I can only cancel the account when I know that what I am upset about in him already lies within me. Jesus says that the mote that I see in thy brother's eye is thine own. When I'm telling somebody else that you are a very angry person, it is my own anger which I'm looking at. Can you see the Mahabharata in the play of life? Can you see the Mahabharata in the play of life? If somebody is cunning, which character it is? Shakuni. And if somebody is angry, which character is it? Dushasana. And somebody is full of self-love, ego and arrogance, which character it is? Duryodhana. Now somebody is talking very arrogantly with us. There is only one character in the drama. His name is Duryodhana. Whether he is talking in somebody else or whether he is talking in me, the character is the same. Character is the same. If somebody is getting angry on me, the character is the same. If somebody is cunning with me, the character is the same. This is the real story of life, Mahabharata. Because these characters are everywhere. You get married to someone, you're not getting married to that person. You're getting married to these 101 qualities.
So if you don't come across a cunning person in your life, does that mean that there is nothing to cancel? That's why nature is not creating.
Very possible. Unless you make an ego of it. I don't have cunningness. Yeah, we encash everything. And we feel good about it. The minute we feel good about it, we've gone somewhere else. That is why when we talk, try to talk matter of fact. You get it? Always remember that can I be free of the personal? Can I be free of the personal? Right? The personal. Everything that is personal. Right? So somebody has cunningly taken away my money, but free of the personal. Then I cannot say it was my money. Right? Somebody has parked his car in front of my house. Right? So I cannot say my house. Now how will I deal with this situation? How will I deal with this situation?
So when I see a car lying in front of my driveway, so I, instead of just reacting and blasting that person away, I think that I may have done, I'm sure I have done this sometime.
Very good.
Parked in
Okay. Now just supposing we want to be free of the personal, how will you see the same situation? You'll say it is parked in somebody's driveway and that person may have some problem. So like you talk for somebody else, you will just go and talk to him. But if it is parked in my driveway, then it becomes personal.
Does it become personal when you say it out loud, or is it even in your thoughts?
Even in your thoughts. My driveway, I own it. Mooladhara Chakra. My possessions. Now you want to rise from Mooladhara to Swadhisthana, or you want the gravity of Mooladhara to keep on pulling you down. It is your choice.
So by doing that, you rise yourself a little bit up, right?
Definitely.
But don't you supposed to get credit for that?
For what?
By saying that I moved up.
The minute you get, all credit belongs to the false.
Yeah, but then how can you appreciate yourself that you moving up?
You realize that you rise without appreciation. Only the weak need appreciation. The real does not need to be appreciated. The false needs appreciation. Right?
So, but don't you have to put in your subconscious mind?
That is pride. You transform your pride. You transform your pride and use it. That I want to rise. I want to rise. But the minute I want to rise so somebody appreciates it, from pride it becomes vanity. Understand? And we look for appreciation. We have to kill that guy who's looking for others' appreciation. So we did talk about Skandhmata. I'll just talk about so pregnancy is Kushmunda, giving birth is Skandhmata. The child is fed by the 6 krutikas. Chakram, 6 kram. Krutikas, 6 kramas. What are these kramas? The first one is digestion. And these 6 processes are all the processes in life. Right? First one is digestion. So you insulted me, I reacted immediately. Is it digestion? No. No. It is elimination. Elimination. The second process is growth. If I digest, there is growth. Wherever there is digestion, there is elimination. Third process. The fourth process is healing. Something is becoming dead, we bring it back to life. Healing. The fifth process is corruption. There is a dead body, it has to decay. The worms have to eat it up. If they don't eat it up, it will create problems. Wherever you see corruption, know there is a dead body, something is dying. The earlier the worms eat it up, the faster the better. It is one of the processes of life. We keep on arguing against it. And we don't realize that the old is going to die and the new is going to come, because we don't have the eyes to see the new which is around the corner. And we keep on criticizing the corruption. The faster it dies, the better. Crime is also a part of corruption. Where you take a dead instrument and something which is living, you make it dead. I'll go deeper into this some other time. This is very fascinating, these 6 processes in life. Everything in life is these 6 processes. Can we change the process? And the final process is regeneration. Regeneration in its lowest form is giving birth to a baby, and regeneration in its highest form is giving birth to the real I inside, the soul inside. Regeneration. Tomorrow I'll go into what is the present moment. The present moment is called by Patanjali as Shin. Shin, a moment. And when he talks about the art of discrimination, what we call as Vivek, he gives a definition of what is Vivek. What is discrimination? The discriminating capacity inside. Shanatata krama yoho sanyamata vivekjam jnana. Shan, the present moment. And the kram, the process. Which process do you put the present moment in? The present moment, she has insulted me. I have put the present moment in the kram of elimination. But I digested the insult. I have put the present moment in the process of digestion. And I may even take it to the process of regeneration. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? Each moment is shan. Each moment is shan. And shan goes in, it always has to go in a certain kram, certain process, in a certain order. And there are six processes. So these krutikas, the krams, they represent these six processes in life. They fed the child Kartikeya. Can you see? Somebody's sperm, somebody creates the womb, somebody gives birth, and somebody gives the milk. What a story, no? She has 4 hands, Skandhmata. In one hand she is holding her child. Her child has come back to her and she's looking after him. In 2 hands she is holding lotus flowers. We have gone through the lotus. In one hand is in Varada Mudra, Hasta Mudra. She's giving a Vardhan. She's giving a boon. She's saying, if you can invoke me, not just pray, to invoke. Like we said on the first day, the circle of the dance is the circle of invocation. And you invoke the qualities of each of these 9. Right? In the movement of the dance. The conscious mind calms down, the monkey calms down, and a space is created inside where we invoke these qualities. So in invoking her, our boons are granted. Our wishes are granted. Her lion is not static. She has given birth. Her lion is kinetic. It is moving. The lion jumps on its prey when it is kinetic. And she is saying that thoughts come and go, but the thought which is useful, learn the art of jumping on it. The rest of them, let them go. Catch the higher thoughts. She has the eyes of a hawk. In the ancient Shastra, they say there are 2 ways of looking. One is looking through the way of the lion, where we see everything 2-dimensional. And one is looking through the way of the hawk who's rising high in the sky and can see everything together. She has the eyes of a hawk. She can see everything together. Many people come and they tell me that you say to work with negativity, then you say to hold double-arrowed attention, then you say to transform this energy. How many things can we do? How many things can we do? And I say this, you're still in the digital brain. One day you'll be on top of the mountain and everything will be so easy. But we are still at the bottom of the mountain. We have the eyes of a lion. But as we rise higher, suddenly we'll have the eyes of a hawk. And then it doesn't matter. Everything is so easy. We see everything together. We see the negative emotions, What is happening with the energies, what is happening with the chakras, what is happening with awareness, what is happening with attention, all there. Now there's no problem.
Do the exercises and everything will follow.
I hope so. You know, everything is okay. But there's still something else. And that something else is grace. That something else is grace. Sometimes somebody does the exercises for a few months and gets everything. Somebody does it for years and gets nothing. There is something which is not in our hands, which has to come from the higher. And we have to have a right attitude for that. We still do everything. But we know that there is something more which is not in our hands, but which we can still be open to. There is something more, but we can be at least worthy of that something more. We can make ourselves worthy of that something more. And that is grace. Whether we call it the grace of the Guru, whether we call it the grace of the Divine, but it has to descend. It has to descend. The problem is that sometimes it descends and our cup is upside down. That is the problem. And then it takes another 2,500 years to descend. That is why. To keep the cup ready. Any moment can descend. But first the cup has to be emptied. Bhikshu, empty the boat. And then the cup is ready. We polish it and keep it ready. We know any moment it can come. And that order should come in everything in our life, whatever we are doing in our life. Any moment the elder brother can come and see. And he'll be looking. And just as when guests are going to come to our house, how we take out the vacuum cleaner and clean everything. But he can come at any moment. He's the uninvited guest. He's the uninvited guest. And that readiness, that is the quality of a disciple. That readiness. He is always ready. And he never asks, when will it come? He never asks. In that very readiness, there is joy. In that very emptiness, waiting, there is joy. There is bliss. It doesn't matter. He can take his own time. 1 year, thousands of years, it's up to him. That attitude. But there is always something more. It's not just the exercises and sitting in meditation and doing this and doing that. There's something more which is not in our hands. So, Kushmanda created the womb and Skandhmata gave birth. And when there is birth, there is happiness. There is happiness. She's laughing. Both of them are laughing and both of them are happy. There is happiness in life. When the mother's womb is filled, she feels this as if some grace has descended upon her. We practice so much to hold our attention here and hold our attention here. But when a mother has a child in the womb, 9 months, her attention is automatically in the womb, one-pointed. She does not have to do any sadhana. She has no meditation or anything. She's always in meditation. Right? The art of one-pointed attention. Skandhmata in Anuradha Nakshatra, ruled by Saturn. Again, the English word is very difficult. Beta Scorpionis. Right? Anu means to follow. To follow Radha. Radha is prosperity. Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu. Radha is prosperity. Now I can see prosperity everywhere. Don't take prosperity as only money. Don't take prosperity as only money. Prosperity is rhythm and harmony in every act of life. rhythm and harmony in every event of life. That is prosperity. Anuradha, the one which follows Radha, ruled by Shani, ruled by Saturn. We must now have the eyes to recognize Saturn in our life. The whole working class is ruled by Saturn. What is our relationship to the working class? Of course, here you don't have servants. But do I shout at my servants? Do I order my servants? How do I relate to the working class? When I go to the station, how do I relate to a porter? That is the way I relate to Saturn, because they are ruled by Saturn. Many people, they come and they say, Saturn is the creator of obstacles and it's so strong in my horoscope, what do I do about it? He said, change your attitude to the working class. In India, there's a lot of traffic, not like here. A lot of traffic. And we all want to find our way very fast. You don't bother about who's coming here. That's their problem. We don't wait for anyone in India. Otherwise you'll be waiting forever. Right? But you wait for the working class. If somebody is going with a cart, you wait for him. You don't find your way. If somebody is on a cycle rickshaw, you wait for them. You don't find your way. Now you're looking after Saturn. You go to the station, but we argue with the coolie. Right? And we don't realize that he is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is the creator of obstacles. So, wherever Saturn comes in our life, try to see Saturn, be free of Saturn. Anuradha. Saturn has higher qualities. And one of them is the art of patience. It is one of the slowest planets. It has the vision of a hawk. It can see everything together. But that can be used negatively and it can be used positively. If I'm ruled by Mars, I'll take a knife and murder someone. If I'm ruled by Saturn, every day I'll go and put a drop in his tea, he'll die after 1 year. Can you see what I'm trying to say? This is the difference between the quality of Mars and the quality of Saturn. That which follows prosperity. What follows prosperity is overflowing energy, the joy of sharing, the joy of giving. Share anything. It doesn't have to be money only. So we invoke these properties from the Devi Skandhmata on the 5th day of Navratri. How many do we have left now? 4. We have 2 days. So 2 and 2, 4. Right? Any questions anyone has? Right? Okay. So we, with God's grace, we'll meet again tomorrow. I hope it wasn't very difficult, all this reverse time and thing. Right? But Sankalp Shakti is very important. Right? We have Ichha Shakti, we don't have Sankalp Shakti. To create Sankalp Shakti, we have to put Ichha Shakti in the womb and give it heat, little heat, and one day it will be born as Sankalp Shakti. Then we don't have to even bother about desiring everything. The thought will come and that will happen. Right? That is will, His will. And when we fulfill His will, there is joy. When I fulfill a personal desire, there is a small satisfaction. But becoming an instrument for His will, letting His will flow through us, Thy will be done. Then even if we are on earth, we are living in heaven. Thy will be done. We are living in heaven. Right? So, putting personal desire on the side and trying to see what does He want us to do. Skandhmata. Right? We'll stop here. Thank you. With God's grace, we meet again. Good night. Very good.